In this video, I'm going to be discussing the topic of reincarnation in the world of Bleach and the possible 6 different realms of existence. Since we know that Kubo clearly has designed the Bleach lore around the 6 paths of the Buddhist incarnation cycle, without further ado, let's jump right into it. In Buddhism, a deva is a type of celestial being who shares the characteristics of a Shinigami, being that they are more powerful, longer lived, and in general more free of the flesh from earthly beings, as in they do not need to eat food or drink water. Now the devas are ranked in a hierarchy according to the merits they have accumulated over lifetimes. They fall into 3 classes depending upon which of the 3 realms of the universe they are born in, which I think we can attribute to some of the classes within Soul Society. The devas of the highest realm, which I'm not even going to attempt to butcher the pronunciation of the name of it, dwell in meditation as formless beings, which I believe we can attribute to the Soul King, both Reo and later Yuha, being as neither of the 2 interact with the rest of the universe on a physical level after obtaining the title of Soul King. The second class doesn't seem to play much of a role in the Bleach lore, but the third class is what is the most intriguing. They have physical forms similar to humans. They lead the same sort of lives that humans do, though they are longer lived and generally more content. This is where I believe the Soul Reapers are heavily influenced from. The higher devas of the third class live in 4 heavens that float in the air, leaving them disconnected from the lower world. Similar to the Zero Division, except that each of the 5 members of the Zero Squad have their own cities, which I would compare to the 4 different heavens of the third class. Now, as for the lower rankings of the third class, they reside on Sumeru, which is a mountain considered to be the center of all spiritual universes, and I'd relate this place to the Serete based off of the beings that reside there. These beings are said to be much more passionate than the higher devas, and enjoy themselves by engaging in strife and fighting. Based off that information, we can draw parallels between these devas and the Gote 13, especially when we consider characters such as the 11th Division, where each member takes pride in their own fighting prowess, and even someone like Byakuya, who also seems very proud of his own fighting capabilities. Now, sometimes included amongst these devas are the Asuras, which are demigods, whose nature is to be continually engaged in war with the devas, which brings us into our potential second plate of existence in Bleach, and that's the one that is the most debatable. This will be the most divisive comparison undoubtedly. In its Buddhist context, Asura translates to demigod. According to Hindu scriptures, the Asuras are in constant battle with the Devas. Based off this information, I'm inclined to believe that the Asura realm is related to the WANDENREICH within the context of Bleach's lore. My reasoning for this being that the Asuras are sometimes included amongst the Devas, which correlates to the WANDENREICH having been created within the shadows of the Serete. And much like the Asuras, the Quincy are forever destined to battle with the Shinigami. And lastly, while the Devas are considered full-fledged gods, or Shinigami in this instance, the Asura or Quincy's are considered to be demigods, which would contribute to the idea that the Shinigami cannot be seen by humans who are spiritually unaware, but the Quincy can due to them having actual physical bodies much like the humans. I won't go into this theory any further as the connection is pretty weak, but I think it still holds some merit, so we'll move on to the next realm, which it doesn't actually need much explanation. The world of the living. This is the realm Ichigo and his friends were born into. It's obviously the realm of the humans, and yeah, like I said, it doesn't really need much explanation as it's clearly stated to be as such within the series itself. It's important to note that the 6 realms are divided in 2, with the first 3 being considered benevolent and the last 3 being considered the opposite. So on to the next realm, which has been confirmed to exist within the canon of Bleach, and yet it is one with the least amount of given information arguably. It's the first of the 3 unbenevolent realms of Bleach. The Animal Path. This is the realm in which Komamora's clan hails from. His great-grandfather, being the head of the clan, explains that the clan is a family of souls who committed sins of unknown nature during their lifetimes, presumably as humans, although that hasn't been confirmed. And as a punishment for these unspeakable sins, were turned into the Wolfmen, having been reincarnated into the animal realm, also known as the Hell of Beasts. We're assuming that they committed these sins as humans, as in the context of the Buddhist doctrine, it is believed that any human could be reborn as an animal, and any animal could be reborn as a human. This is considered to be the first of the 3 undesirable realms of rebirth, or more specifically, the first of the 3 hells one could be born into. This realm is hellish in the sense that even without the presence of humans, the inhabitants are living in constant fear of being eaten by other animals and are forced to live in fear of this ever-linging threat. They also had to endure extreme changes of environment throughout the year and have no security of habitation. The clan head explains to Komamora that even this wasn't enough punishment for their sins, and therefore the clan returned to Soul Society by some unknown means to continue living in the shadows of the Reincarnation, specifically so that they could escape the scrutiny of outsiders. Although not much information has been revealed about this realm within the world of Bleach, the animal realm has absolutely been confirmed to exist, which raises even more questions as to how exactly the world of Bleach functions, as it's clearly been stated that the 6 noble families created the worlds of Soul Society, the world of the living, and HUECO MUNDO, but it was never confirmed that the animal realm was something of their doing. Perhaps it existed before the original sin, perhaps not. Only time and new content from Kubo will tell. On to the next path. The PRETA path is also known as the world of hungry ghosts, and if you're a fan of Bleach, you can probably guess which realm this is. It's the second to the worst of the hellish realms. In the world of Bleach, it's known as HUECO MUNDO. The realm once ruled over by Baragon Luisenbarn, Sosuke Aizen, and currently Tier Haribel. The beings born in this realm suffer from extreme thirst and hunger, clearly inspiring the Hollows in their insatiable appetite for consuming souls. The NARAKA path. NARAKA is the realm of hell. It refers to the worlds of the greatest suffering. The Buddhist text describes a vast array of tortures and realms of torment in NARAKA. Much like the animal realm, very little is known about hell within the world of Bleach. Hell is populated by sinners who committed irredeemable acts before being dragged to hell. It would appear as if any soul from any realm can be sent to hell, whether it be hollow, human, or soul reaper, and perhaps even the souls from the animal realm as well as the Quincy. In the non-canonical movie The Hellverse, we learn the existence of the Kushinada, or the guardians of hell. The Kushinada torture sinners by consuming them. Those spirits are reborn and captured, repeatedly being consumed in a cycle which continues until their will is completely crushed and the remains turn to dust. A promotional one-shot released in promotion of the Hellverse movie showed Zayazel Aparo Granz and Aranero arriving in hell after the defeat in HUECO MUNDO, and in the latest canonical one-shot, we see a hellish Zayazel Aparo return from hell briefly as he explains that hell has allowed him to cast aside his hollow yoke so his whole is no longer bound to his flesh. We also learn of the Kanso Reisai, a ceremony performed for deceased captains, which serves to send them into hell. Uketake drags the former Espada back through the gates of hell shortly after he forces Ichigo to ponder the question, why exactly do the hell butterflies have the word hell in their name? The hell chapter is an entire video in and of itself, so I won't be covering it here. So yeah guys, those are the 6 realms of Bleach. Obviously the WANDENREICH is debatable as to whether it counts as its own realm, and perhaps some of the comparisons are off, so if any of you guys can connect the dots any better or have any notes on the matter, feel free to drop a comment, and don't forget to smash that like button, and feel free to subscribe if you want to support the channel and help me make more content like this. Thanks for watching guys, I appreciate your time, and peace out.